All going to come down to the defense. All going to come down to the communication and leadership of De'Aaron Fox, of Domantas Sabonis. And again, brings me back to the top of the conversation, which is there's so much pressure on De'Aaron Fox, and I don't think it even gets talked about enough. How much pressure is on his shoulders heading into this season. He needs to turn up. You cannot struggle. You need to see 27 5 and 5, 25 5 and 5 from Fox in wins, averaging that in wins. At least 36% from 3-point range. These are achievable numbers for a player that's going to have the usage that he does. I also want to see him go back to becoming a slasher. When you have a guy like Sabonis that can pass that ball, you need to become a slasher. And again, I think this is where you're going to see a lot of the Princeton offense, which is why I had Coach Nick on the show last week. A lot of the Princeton offense allows more off-ball movement, more away from the ball movement, like from complete weak side movement that allows someone like a Fox, someone like a Barnes to cut to the basket. It allows someone like Kevin Huerter to come off 2 staggered screens and just get open off of just a handoff. You're not going to see the Buddy. I highly doubt you're going to see the Buddy Hield. Here's the ball. Just arm up. Here's the ball. Shoot it. You're going to see a lot. You're going to see the most fundamental basketball that you've seen from the Kings in a long time heading into this season. The problem that I do have with it, though, and the big concern that I have with Mike Brown, and he said it there when I did the videos to start last week's show as well, and he talked about early offensive flow and putting a lot of responsibility on the guards and the leader of their team to make these quick reaction and make these quick reads. He says during that whole entire seminar multiple times that there's a learning curve to all of this. There's a learning curve to being able to make these decisions and make quick early offensive flow from a leader's perspective. He said it takes time, but once it's there, then it works easy. But man, I don't want to see that struggle early on. And that's where my big concern is. 34% from 3 is asking a lot. 37 is crazy. He shot 29 last year, didn't he? He improved, though. Yeah, he shot horrible last season from 3. But it was after the trade deadline when he actually had to start scoring. I believe he already got to like 34% skip in terms of Fox's 3-point shooting. And I said 36. I didn't say 37. If I did say 37, I meant 36. 35 I'd be happy. 34 I'd be okay with. But 34 is okay if the Kings are winning. But he needs to shoot at least 35 or higher. And that's where the big thing is. He needs to be able to shoot those shots. He needs to be able to shoot those shots. I need him, and by him he means Fox, to get to 77% from the free throw line. He shot a career high of 74 last year. I think that'll be important for him slashing more and getting fouled more. I just feel like last year, and this is where I'm being optimistic about Fox, is I think last year, starting out the season, that you can just tell there was a lot of frustration. I mean, remember there was that whole entire, he built up all this muscle, he lifted all these weights, and that's what made him start slowing down and yada, yada, yada. But he didn't really use that weight, and we didn't really see any athleticism from him at all. We just need to see that dog back in Fox. Fox was being very passive to start the season, and when the ball was back in his hands, we started seeing him be a little bit more aggressive. But we need to see Mr. Fourth Quarter and the person that we saw 2 years ago be that at least 3 out of 4 quarters. I mean, it's hard to stay on that high of a level all the time, but you have a support system now. You have a guy in Sabonis that can give you a walking double-double whenever you need it. But it is on Fox's shoulders to carry the tempo of this team and stay aggressive at all times. He cannot stray away from contact. He needs to absorb contact. He needs to be able to finish around the rim. He cannot settle for those mid-range. I get that his mid-range is great. I mean, he had one of the nastiest mid-range step backs in the game. That fadeaway step back was gross. but it's not a highly efficient shot. He's not DeRozan. I'm just going to put it that way. He needs to be able to finish around the rim. You said 36%, my fault. Typing fast with one hand. It's all good, bro. Drive safe. I figure that you're driving if you're typing with one hand. Again, man, it's just more of... I think people need to recognize at this point, heading into training camp and everything like that, that Fox is going to be looked at to becoming the leader that he's expected to be. They got all of these guys. This is gonna be his season. And I don't mean like, no, this is gonna be a season because he's gonna be so good. Like, this is gonna have to be his season. This is where he's gonna have to show I am a building block player. I'm not just a nice role player. I'm a building block type of player.